place, some mysterious things there. So we're digging all the informations, but we are looking all in the world, peace and happiness from outside, or get rid of all the suffering, the solutions from outside, not looking inside, how much we can do within in the mind. So now starting people nowadays people are starting awakening. It's the mind which creates this suffering, which creates the peace and happiness. Now the mind is very complex, you see. Everyone have a mind. It's not a mysterious. We all think something, always thinking something. Which is that? So you say brain, but you see, brain is just a piece of flesh. How much it can think. I don't think it can think too much. It is because brain has this limitation. But your thinking, the consciousness is limitless. You can't stop thinking, until you become crazy. So, you see, the mind is very mysterious because you can see things. So we are looking for mind. Maybe we can see the mind. We can hear the sound. Everywhere is making the noise. We are now hearing the noise. So you see these things. But mind, we cannot see it. It has no form. Mind, we cannot hear the mind because it has no sound. Mind makes the form. Mind makes the noise. But mind itself has no form, no sound. You cannot smell the mind. It's consciousness. Mind is the consciousness that you see. It's not a matter. It's not a something. So this first we have to understand this. Just a glimpse. It's such a profound, such a vast. Because of this, you see, this modern scientists, they're just investigating one after another, one after another. There's no end of thinking, There's no end of, to make things, It's just one after another because the mind comes up ideas and put together. So mind is consciousness, you should say. The table is made by the mind. Here in front of me, there's a table. It's made by the mind. Mind thinks something put together. So this way should make, this way should make. And then we put together, make a table, make a chair, make anything. So mind, it made everything outside. Inside also is just the mind. Now their mind, that's called, when you look carefully, then there's a confused mind, unconfused mind. And so the confused mind is then, through that, all the mental delusions, mental afflictions. You can see the mentally, the ignorance, and then there comes attachment, there comes the aversion, pride, jealousy, greed, all this manifestation of the confused mind. And that brings the suffering. And everybody in the world, you can go all the different places in the country. Many people in one country, all over the world, there are so many different countries. They speak different language, different color, wearing different clothes, eating different food, all the things. But the ignorance, the attachment, the aversion is shared by everybody in the world. There's no difference, yes or no? You can speak different language, but they may be wearing different clothes. But when you come to the mind, they will share the same mental confusion. And then other side of the mind, you see the loving kindness, compassion, and concern of decency, helping others, so taking care of the families, countries, like that, also shared by all. Anywhere you go, you see. So the mind is like that, you see. So you look at this, what in the mind, look to our inside, to our own mind. When there comes in the mind aversion, so I dislike this person hates me, like that. When there is that kind of mind, what do you mean? There is a suffering. You see, in your mind, there's no peace. You see, and on the other hand, when there's a loving kindness, compassion, these things there, there's a peace. And the mother has just in the family, when the mother is compassionate, take care of the children, family, everybody loves the mother, because they get peace and happiness from the mother, If somebody scolds, the child, and the child cries. In the school, when the teacher is very uplifting, happy mood. When teacher is very happy mood, loves all the students in the class and making happy. All the students that like to have that school, that class, our teacher is so good, very always expresses very happy, so kind of joyful. The teacher is so good. Everybody loves the teacher there, And the teacher is a little angry, expressing, unhappy, all the students just stay quiet, a little depressed. As soon as they ring the bell, all the students just go out as soon as possible. So this all, you see, how the mind, it works, you see, in the family, in the society, everywhere, same. So this is the idea of this hour. This Bodhichitta is that Buddha taught. It's a cause, you see. It's not a religious belief or not belief. It's a cause for peace and happiness. It's very important. Sometimes you think, this is a Buddhist belief. This is what Buddha said. Karma is a Buddhist belief, you said before, So way back 10, 20, 30 decades ago, Buddhists believe karma, is something like belief, But now people know, slowly, it's not just a belief, The world is a creation of the cause. So that's why now they're investigating what the cause of this sickness. Like when you, these last 3 years, we have the pandemic, So you diagnose the pandemic. Now, what's the cause of that? In order to make a medication, So until you know the cause, you cannot make the medicine. See, when you know the cause enough, then you can make the medicine more precisely, see. So they're looking at the cause. It took a long time. What's the cause of this pandemic? How it created, how it started, you see. So it's not as a religious belief, It's not something, culture. It's the reality of the how everything causes, how the cause creates the result, the effect. So Bodhichitta is a cause that Buddha taught. 2000, I should say, over 2,560, Buddha taught all those teachings. Buddha introduced first suffering. What is the suffering? Like say the COVID, what is the COVID? How it came about. So Buddha like that, Buddha taught all the different types of the cause. I mean suffering, as a result, which we don't like suffering. Nobody wants the suffering, physically, mental suffering. We all want peace and happiness, So the Buddha said, you should know the suffering. First said, this is suffering. You should know the suffering. Once you know the suffering, there's no more to know. Like I said, when you know the COVID, well, there's no more to know. You just open the secret of the COVID, So, like that. Then Buddha said, avoid the cause of suffering. So now we have in the COVID, there's a lot of way how to prevent the COVID, isn't it? Wear the mask, be at distance, clean your hand, all these things is to avoid the cause of the COVID. See, so it's not something, a religious training. It is something what requires. So there's called prescription and proscription. You know that? Do you know these two words? Prescription and proscription. Proscription. The prescription, giving the doctor gives the medicine. You should take this medicine. It will help to overcome your COVID. Proscription, say, be from distance, or you say, and wearing mask, and these are the proscription. You know that word? It's good word, It's very important. So this is all about different. Doctor, when you go to see the doctor will give you these two things, prescription and proscription. Yours, when the doctor diagnoses your sickness, so doctor will prescribe the medicine, what to take. It's prescribed, And then doctor will give you advice, don't do these things. It's prescription. So same thing, Buddha. The suffering, what we have, what will help, what we should do, practices. So Buddha prescribed all the causes of the peace and happiness from now to until it's totally free from the suffering, And Buddha prescribed all the cause of suffering. See, these are all the cause of suffering. I will ask you, don't repeat. Avoid all this. Because prescription. So these two, keep those two words in your mind. Prescription and proscription. Okay. So that, see, Buddha's teaching is not so much from the outside. Outsides are, of course, very important, but the mind is more important. Mind is the origin of the peace and happiness. Mind is the origin of the suffering. Like say, just for example, there's war in Ukraine. All the missiles, bombs, guns, those are who created by? They are the direct cause of suffering, you see. Don't shoot the missile, this. It's created by the mind. Mind created. If you fight, you need these things. Then they made all these missiles and nuclear bombs, all those, you see. So deluded mind created all this cause of suffering. See. Now the undiluted mind, we should say, how to bring peace, happiness. No? All the good medicines, for example. No? These medicines are there, good for the, those people who are sick. Produce all this. So these both are created by the mind, in general in the world. Likewise, Buddha looked at the mind. So at the time, Buddha taught all those teachings still so fresh. You should see, it's not outdated. A lot of things are outdated, a lot of belief systems, a lot of cultures. Things are outdated, not relevant these days. But Buddha's teaching is still so fresh. We can keep it, we can practice it, and we can get benefit every day, minute to minute. So that's why actually everybody need to pay attention on this. Understanding the mind is the most important. How to change your motivation, how to refresh your mind. Those which create the suffering, why is in the mind? When the mind is so deluded, then you are frustrated, you are depressed because of those things. Then you see, sometimes suicidal. Sometimes we just use the drug in the worst case, and then people source the suffering. Then it's very difficult to get out from that situation. See, it's because the mind. So that things are, these things, this outside limited. The mental depression, until you purify it, is so difficult to get out because the mind. The outside you try, sometimes in the people, because those are who make mistake in the law, put in the jail. So you put in the jail 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, physically, but mentally, what you can do. So we need these teachings, how to relate to the mind, how to change your concept, how to change your way of the mind thinking, the behavior of the mind. So crucial, especially in these days. The outside created so many things to enjoy your life. The people enjoy their life. At the end, then more suffering. Because physical things, there's a limitation. Mentally, there's no limitation. So mentally, there's no limitation. The physical cannot catch up with the mind and the suffering. So therefore, the mind, we need how to relate to these things. That's why the Bodhichitta is the cause for peace and happiness. Bodhichitta is not a religious belief or Buddhist belief. You see, this is, I think, first we have to have a very clear understanding. Mind, I usually say, confined mind, unconfined mind. Do you know this? Confined mind? You don't know? Confined mind, you are confined means your mind is trapped, entangled in the confusion. So you're confined. So during this COVID, people are asked to stay in their own home, don't go outside, So people are so depressed. We want to have some kind of distance and free, or confined. So unconfined means that you can walk anywhere where you like, you see. So our mind is in the samsara, confined within in the confusion and entangled with this. And then just suffering comes one after another. You are looking for something, you go there, and then you think I'm good, but then there you are suffering. You go there, and you get more suffering there like this way, That's why should I do it? I don't find any peace and happiness. You go to the mountain, you go to the beach, and you visit other countries, different countries, to find something, and you cannot find it. And so what should I do? So Buddha said, instead of looking outside, just look inside your mind. Make your mind friend yourself instead of enemy. Your best friend is your mind if you can make it. There's no better friend than your mind. So that you have to look for. So you have to find it. Then you just have to make it happen. So therefore, that we have to release all the confusion. Release all the confusion and then bring up the mind inside, as it is. It's uncontrived mind, you see. You just look sometimes when you see sky, look at the sky. Without other people, you look at, you find so peaceful, Your mind is not disturbed by other negative thoughts. When the mind is not disturbed by any other negative thoughts, you find so peaceful. It's your mind, undisturbed mind. See, as soon as when the mind is disturbed by other thoughts, attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, all these things, then there's no peace. You're disturbed, you see. So that uncontrived mind, as it is, when you look at the sky, gaze in the sky, within in the confusion, relax, and entangle with this peace, and then just suffering comes one nowhere. You are looking for something, but it's your mind. Can relax in the peace. So that's to say, your mind is your best friend when you know how to make it. As soon as on all this, as I mentioned, when your mind is entangled with all these mental afflictions, then there surrounds all the cause of suffering, confusion, and you suffer. Then there's a fear. what should I do? A lot of fear comes around. So to free from these, so when you have your mind so calm, peaceful, there's no fear. So that's the Bodhichitta practice that brings this. It's a method. As you see, all these our mental afflictions are not easy to deal because we come from long time habituated with this. We're so deeply kind of habituated. Habit, bad habit. It's very difficult to release it. You want to repeat. Sometimes you know that's not right, but you just force yourself to repeat that and you suffer. So to release that habit, the habit of suffering, then we need the mindfulness. We need the vigilance, awareness. That we should be aware. So this is the bad habit. It just continues me and brings suffering. We need to solve. That's what's called practice. So bodhicitta is the mind of the called the mind of enlightenment. So mind of the enlightenment that helps us to see it. Then we need to practice this. So first of all, Bodhichitta is about. There are so many teachings there, but this is some introduction that we can get this some help, And now, Aaron, you want to lead the Heart Sutra?
Sure. Okay.
So when you do this first, you should cultivate your mind, achieve complete enlightenment. Today, I want to achieve enlightenment. Or those who have been cultivated the mind, reinforce, make it stronger, better, or you say, stronger, more dedicated. You see, yes, there's no other alternative. I will cultivate the altruistic thought to achieve the complete enlightenment. Today and tomorrow, I will study about the Bodhichitta. Okay. So as the beginning, we just read the Heart Sutra. It's Heart Sutra, as you know, everybody knows Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra is very popular. So read in English and contemplate, and then after that we'll follow this ceremony step by step. Okay. Yeah, read from this. No, in Sanskrit, this. Okay. Okay. You have page 2. Oh yeah.
In Sanskrit, Bhagavati Prajna Paramita Hridaya. In Tibetan, Chomden Dema Sherab. Ke Parol Tu Chin Pe Nyingpo. Homage to the essence of transcendent knowledge, the Bhagavati. Thus have I heard. Once the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of the Vulture Peak Mountain, together with a great gathering of monks and bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One entered the samadhi which examines the dharmas, called profound illumination. And at the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mansafa, looking at the profound practice of transcendent knowledge, saw the 5 skandhas and their natural emptiness. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra, said to noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Manasattva, how should these noble men and women learn who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge? Thus he spoke, and noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Manasattva, answered the venerable Shariputra with these words, Shariputra, those noble men and women who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. Emptiness is no other than form. Form is no other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, perception, concept, and consciousness are emptiness. Thus, Shariputra, all dharmas are emptiness and have no characteristics. They are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no perception, no concept, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no dharmas. There is no quality of sight, and so on, until no quality of thought and no quality of mind consciousness. There is no ignorance and no wearing out of ignorance, and so on until no old age and death, nor their wearing out. In the same way, there is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no ending of suffering, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment for the bodhisattvas, they abide by means of transcendent knowledge, and since there is no obscurity of mind, they have no fear. They transcend falsity and pass beyond the bounds of sorrow. All the Buddhas who dwell in the past, present, and future fully and clearly awaken to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment by means of transcendent knowledge. Therefore, the mantra of transcendent knowledge, the mantra of deep insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering, should be known as truth, for there is no deception. The mantra of transcendent knowledge is proclaimed. Teyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamagate Bodhi Soha. Shariputra. This is how a bodhisattva, mansattva, should learn the profound transcendent knowledge. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and praised the noble bodhisattva, mansattva, Avalokiteshvara, saying, Wongchuk lale so she jawa jin ne. Well done, noble son. It is so. It is just so. Profound transcendent knowledge should be practiced, just as you have taught, and all the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra and the noble Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering in the world with its gods, men, asuras, and gandharvas, rejoice and praise the words of the Blessed One. Thus ends the Mahayana Sutra called the Bhagavati Essence of Transcendent Knowledge.
Thank you. That's good. Okay, so this helps us to release our entanglement of the mind, seeing everything's real. Just this shows what this is saying is everything's just a manifestation. Oh. So there's no any substantially exist. So we just release this all attachment, grasping. With this, if you have, I don't know, if you have this text, the Bodhisattva Vows text, page 3, look at there. The ritual of performing the aspiration Bodhichitta. You see that? Page 3. 3. Page 3. There said here, request to the spiritual master. Here is a request. What is said here? Oh, spiritual master, please consider me. Please consider me. Please look upon me out of compassion, like the Buddhas of the past, authentically transform for destroyer. That's its name of the Buddha, Buddha's name. For all the mental afflictions Buddha has destroyed. So that's what is called for destroyer. Perfectly enlightened ones whose enlightened ones who overcome and gain all the excellent qualities, and the Bodhisattvas on the higher level of realization on the way to Buddhahood, who generated the precious attitude of Bodhichitta, the mind of the enlightenment. So all the Buddhas, they have generated the Bodhichitta and they attain the Buddhahood. All the great Bodhisattvas, they have also generated the Bodhichitta, the mind of the enlightenment. They are on the way to Buddhahood. So, precious attitude of Bodhichitta. Following their example. So today, I follow their example. I need such a great example because I personally don't know how to free from suffering. So I have to follow those who are enlightened, in their footsteps. So they say, following their examples, you, the great spiritual masters, generate in me and dedicate the heart of Bodhicitta to realize the perfect supreme enlightenment. So today, please help me how to generate the Bodhicitta. Okay. So the visualization comes later, but today first you just repeat this. Let me see. Okay, yes. Here said, repeat this 3 times. He said, repeat 3 times, and okay, that's okay. We have no flour to scatter. First, please join your hand, and then repeat this in Tibetan. Now, as mentioned, the explanation I mentioned, Master, please look up at me with compassion. As the previous Buddhas who cultivated the Bodhicitta attained the perfect enlightenment, and great Bodhisattvas who have cultivated Bodhicitta and they are on the way to enlightenment. So please give me opportunity to cultivate my mind to generate Bodhicitta. Okay. Loben
Lobon,
Konsoso,
Gonsuso,
Chidarangunji,
Chitarangonji,
Dishinshikba,
Shinshika,
Chachomba,
Rajomba,
Yangdakbar,
Shandapa,
Sobe Sanje,
Sobe Sanji,
Chumden de Namda,
Jumdende Namda,
Sachambula,
Sachembola,
Rabdu Shube,
Rabdo Shube,
Chanju Semba,
Sanju Semba,
Semba Chembo,
Semba Chembo,
Nam,
Nam,
Chedar,
Chidar,
Turimbuche,
Tumboji,
Kibran Zeba,
Kibran Zeva,
Deshindu,
Dishindo,
Lobunji,
Loonji,
Ta,
Ta,
Lana Meba,
Laname,
Yangdakbar,
Yonda,
Sobe Chanjudo,
Sobe Chanjudu,
Sem Kibar,
Semgiba,
Zedo Sol.
Zetu,
So
So,
this first. Now we'll repeat the second time. Same as, please keep that mind. So I'm requesting the master to allow me to cultivate Bodhichitta. That previous Buddha has all the Buddha, not just one Buddha, all the Buddhas of the past, present, future. They cultivated this mind and they attain the Buddhahood. Great Bodhisattvas who are on the path towards enlightenment, they also have cultivated Bodhichitta. So today, please give me opportunity to cultivate this mind. With this mind, please repeat the second request prayer. Lobun,
Lobon,
Konsoso,
Gonso,
Chidarangunji,
Chitarangonji,
Dishinshikba,
Shinshika,
Chachomba,
Rajomba,
Yangdakbar,
Yanda,
Sobe Sanje,
Sobe Sanji,
Chumden de Namdang,
Jumdende Namda,
Sachembola,
Sachembola,
Rabdu Shuber,
Rabdo Shube,
Chanju Semba,
Chanju Semba,
Semba Chembo,
Semba Chembo,
Nam,
Nam,
Chedar,
Chidar,
Turimboche,
Tumboji,
Kibran Zeba,
Kibaran Zepa,
Deshindo,
Dishindo,
Lobunji,
Lobonji,
Ta,
Ta,
Lana Meba,
Laname,
Yangdakbar,
Nanda,
Sobe Chanjutu,
Sobe Chanjuk,
Sem Kibran,
Semjebra,
Zedo Sol.
Zedo So,
Now we'll repeat the third time. So at the end of the third time, you meditate. Now, Master has accepted my request to cultivate the bodhicitta. So with this mind, please repeat the third recitation. Lobun,
Lobon,
Konsoso,
Gonso,
Chedarangonji,
Chitarangonji,
Dishinshikba,
Shinshika,
Chachomba,
Rajomba,
Yangdabara,
Yanda,
Sobe Sanje,
Sobe Sanji,
Chumden de Namdam,
Jumdende Namda,
Sachembola,
Sachembola,
Rabdu Shuber,
Rabdo Shube,
Chanju Semba,
Ju Semba,
Semba Chembo Nam,
Semba Chembo Nam,
Chedar,
Chidar,
Turimboche,
Tumboji,
Kibran Zeba,
Kibran Zeba,
Deshindo,
Dishindo,
Lobunji,
Lobonji,
Ta,
Ta,
Lana Meba,
Laname,
Yandabar,
Yanda,
Sobe Chanjuto,
Sobe Chanjutu,
Sem Kibran,
Semjebra,
Zedo Sol.
Zedo So.
Thank you. Now, this is next is the establishing visualization. Here, it's mentioned here. Now, to visualize the field of the spiritual growth, so recite the following lines. So first, I will read and explain. Now we have here Tanga, Buddha's painting, like that. You visualize Buddha in front of you above in the space. Okay. Now here we have all explanations. Yeah. In front of yourself, should say, or oneself, visualize a very beautiful, soft, smooth, blue lake, which has all the best quality of the water. It suits your throat, stomach. It's like ambrosia, stainless ambrosia. That lake is huge. Then inside that lake, there's a huge lotus. Lotus is a trunk. Grows out of that lake. And that lotus manifest from the two stores. No, two store means positive is called sonyi, to two great accumulation. The accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. It's not just ordinary lotus flower. The lotus flower is produced from this two great accumulation. Okay. It's got positive protection and the wisdom potential. Therefore, it is a wish fulfilling gem. So that's lotus, as I mentioned, it's not just ordinary. It's the nature of wish fulfilling gem, jewel. Its tongue, the lotus tongue, branches, petals, and scarlet men are all composed of the diamond. So diamond, which is a strong, he said, but diamond precious vajra, we should say. The root possesses the most powerful vajra of the primordial wisdom. So the root of this lotus is the nature of the diamond, indestructible. It's like a vajra. Okay. The root of the lotus, then touches the golden ground. The root of the lotus is way down on the ground, under the ocean. Touches the golden base. This visualization makes the lotus stable and indestructible. So not just very fragile lotus flower, but nature of the vajra, indestructible lotus flower, which is composed by the great merit and wisdom and huge trunk. Okay. Then there arise many lotus flower from the lotus tongue. So lotus tongue is long, and from the stages, then many lotus flower are manifest. Lotus tongue. In the middle is a huge lotus flower, just above the leg. Just above the leg, there's a big, huge lotus flower. Sits the root Lama, root teacher, in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni Siddha. This is the root Lama, in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni, our historical Buddha. You see, now in front of me, above the leg, and the one of the lotus huge flower, on that sits the Buddha Shakyamuni as my root teacher. On Buddha Shakyamuni is my root teacher. That Buddha, the perfectly enlightened one who has overcome and gained all. Overcome means purified all the obscurations and perfected all the excellent qualities. Okay. Is Buddha, that Buddha is not just substantial, something concrete, rather it appears as the Buddha very vividly, freshly, yet its nature is emptiness. So the emptiness and the appearance and emptiness are inseparable, like a rainbow. Visualize that. So that Buddha is with the 30 with the 32 excellent signs, 32 major marks, and 80 minor marks, 80 exemplary features. He has one arm, it says one arm span around his body. His body radiating with the infinite number of rays of light. Light radiate to all the directions, reaching to every sentient beings. Then by merely hearing the name of the Buddha, one can attain the unreturnable, it's a non-returning state of the realization, such as the inspiring Buddha, inspiring of the Buddha who has overcome and gained all. Surrounded the root Lama, then, and you visualize all spiritual friends, spiritual masters. So that Buddha as your root teacher, surrounded by all many other your teachers, as well as the lineage from Buddha up until now, all the lineage masters are surrounded. Okay. Here said, spiritual friends, spiritual masters, and abbot means all the Khenpos, scholar, great teachers, and teachers sitting on the lotus seat in front of the surround. Actually, you should say not in front, surrounded the root teacher, right and left. So that's all the root and lineage masters you visualize. Above the crown of the root Lama means the Buddha, on lotus petals, visualize the root lamas and the lamas of the lineage, the same thing. Then on the lotus seat surrounding the root lamas, repeating. Then in all the 10 directions, visualize the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future. Then all the 10 directions, the Buddhas of the past, present, future are surrounded. Then Bodhisattvas like Chenresik, Manjushri, Vajrapani, Samanta Bhadra, all these great masters, Bodhisattvas are surrounded. Together with the ocean of assembly consisting of the victorious ones and the Charavakas and the Partika Buddha, visualize those. On the lotus flower arising out of the leg, just above the leg. Now, this is more above the leg. It's just on the surface of the leg. So on the surface of the leg. Arising out of the leg, and in the intermediate state places visualize the great Dharma protectors like Mahakala. We have like Mahakala and Achi and other great Dharma protectors. It's called Shiridevi, Bandalhamo, and others. The Dashitringman, like those. In short, all the Dhammapalas who have permission to protect the precious teachings of the Buddha. So these Dhamma protectors are there. The permission in front of the Buddha and great teachers, they have to protect the practitioners of the practitioners of the Dharma, and to protect the Dharma teachings, to benefit all the sentient beings. So this is what we visualize in front of us as this the many things you can say. This first important thing is you see your teacher as a Buddha, not just an ordinary person. So this is very important. Now, this first important point. Then in front of that, I think we say, here we have the 7 branches of the practice. The short one. So you can say this in English. Whatever day we start there. Whatever merit I have gathered. Do you see that? Yes. Okay. Page 7b.
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
Thank you. And next what we have is here in the footnote, it said, after that, in order to receive the special refuge ordination, one must make the strong determination, which is, I will certainly go for refuge to the 3 precious jewels. Now, second important point is now taking refuge. It's special. Special means there are 2 types of taking refuge. Generally, I take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha in this life for oneself. Now here, special refuge ordination means until I attain complete enlightenment, Buddhahood. I take refuge for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now, the object of refuge is Buddha, as now you visualized. To that Buddha is the embodiment of all excellent qualities. Buddha is the Buddha. Buddha is the Dharma. Buddha is the Sangha. Okay, and as well surrounded by all lineage masters, Buddha, and the Sanghas, great Bodhisattvas, as well as the Dharma protectors. So that is the called special refuge, not just only for yourself, but for you are representing all sentient beings. So I, on the behalf of all sentient beings, I take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Okay? And then in front of that, do we have this Sargama?
Yes.
Yes. Now please repeat that. In the Sargama, in this prayer, as while you are reciting, you can find inconceivable offerings you are making, offering to all those, to the Buddha. Okay. Buddha, as mentioned, Buddha is the Buddha. Buddha is the Dhammakaya. Buddha is Sambhogakaya. Buddha is Nirmanakaya. To this Buddha and all the Buddhas, great masters, great Sanghas, you are making all these offerings. So please chant this, your Sargama is called the 7 branches of Vajrayana, isn't it? Okay.
in the celestial palace of the victorious ones of the three times, which is the mandala of the ultimate reality of primordially pure mind, on the self-manifesting immutable throne, I look at the supreme self-arisen Lama. The instant I perceive that great bliss, Dharmadhatu, I am led across the vast ocean of samsara and arrive at the blissful pure state. I will look at the Supreme Lama who is meaningful to behold. Just by remembering that refuge, all afflicting emotions, thoughts, and the hordes of Maras are vanquished. To the Lama who is victorious over enemies, I will look unwaveringly with the eye of wisdom. You are surrounded by the victorious ones and their retinue of the 10 directions and 3 times. Seated on the lion throne of fearlessness, lotus, sun, and moon, I will look with joy at your body adorned with all the major and minor marks, inseparable from the 3 kayas, ultimate reality of the mind, Vajradhara. To you, the great blissful one, I manifest my body infinitely like the gathering clouds, and earnestly beseeching, I prostrate and go for refuge with great devotion. Your body, the nature of precious Bodhichitta, is inseparable from the Buddhas of the 3 times, manifesting over all Buddha fields, and within your body all Buddha fields manifest. I prostrate to your glorious body with your pure, melodious speech like the ocean of Amrita. You show the unborn nature of all phenomenon, thereby destroying the king mountain of views. I prostrate to your indestructible Vajra speech. In the mandala of immutable mind beyond thought, unmoving from the equanimity state of Dharmadhatu, you possess the wisdom power of knowing the 3 times. I prostrate to you, the non-dual self-perfection. The qualities of your body, speech, and mind cannot be exhausted, even if expressed by all the Buddhas in all the oceans of kalpas. I prostrate to you who possesses the limitless qualities. Until the ocean of samsara is exhausted, you possess the manifold, effortlessly arising, unceasing, supreme activities that ripen all sentient beings. I prostrate to the Lama, the supreme refuge. To you, I manifest an ocean of offerings that please the victorious ones and ripen all sentient beings. And having filled the whole realm of Dharmadhatu, I make the supreme unceasing offering. From the great glorious heart palace, limitless rays of Bodhichitta emanate, filling without exception all the pure lands in the 10 directions, manifesting limitless, beautiful offering goddesses who hold water, flower, incense, lamps, wonderful scents, and food. From the cloud of offerings manifests a rain of offerings to please the Buddhas of the 3 times. I offer this to all the Buddhas of the 3 times, filling the spheres of all the realms, rays of umbrellas, banners, badans, canopies, musical sounds, cloth, precious jewels, medicines, and grain manifests from the body of the victorious one. I offer these various clouds of offerings, boundless as the ocean, the 7 precious royal articles like the chakras and so on, the 7 semi-precious ones like the house and so on, the auspicious substances and the substances of the cities. Please accept these offerings which have arisen from the 2 accumulations. Furthermore, all things throughout the limitless Buddha fields that are possessed or not possessed, these offerings and all wealth that can be offered, I behold them all in my mind and offer them all to the Lama. The very pure mandala of the 3 kayas, completely filled with faultless possessions. I offer these pure lands of the Buddhas of the 3 times. Please accept this offering, you compassionate one. To you, protector, I offer my body, speech, mind, all wealth equal to space without exception, and all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times. Please accept these, you compassionate one, for the benefit of all sentient beings. The Vajra goddesses of form, sound, smell, taste, and touch, by seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and remembering them, the three obscurations of sentient beings are purified. I offer these. Please accept them, stainless victor. Vajra body, the essence of form, the supreme goddess of fully purified ignorance, I offer to the eyes of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. Vajra mind, the essence of sound, the supreme goddess of fully purified hatred, I offer to the ears of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. Vajra quality, the essence of smell, the supreme goddess of fully purified arrogance, I offer to the nose of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. Vajra speech, the essence of taste, the supreme goddess of fully purified desire, I offer to the tongue of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. Vajra activity, the essence of touch, the supreme goddess of fully purified jealousy, I offer to the body of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. Primordial Vajra emptiness, the essence of all phenomenon, the supreme goddess of fully purified mind as such, I offer to the mind of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The supremely victorious one, inseparable from the skillful means and wisdom, the assembly of the 5 families of the Dhyana Bodhas with consorts, together filling the limitless sky, I offer this. Please accept this great bliss. From the ocean-like samadhi, equanimity of all phenomenon, liberating all sentient beings from within the ocean of unshakable activities, accept these offerings, all the assembly of bodhisattvas, who possess all the Buddha fields, grinding teeth, fierce faces, confident postures, annihilating the hordes of Maras with the roar of Hung and Pei. These wrathful expressions manifest out of immeasurable compassion. Please accept these offerings, you who are pristine wisdom wrathfulness. Myriad clouds of outer, inner, and secret offerings in the boundless mandala of the absolute reality of the mind, where all distinctions are dissolved into the non-dual, unchanging nature. To you I make this unsurpassed offering, the offering of suchness, the ultimate reality of all phenomenon in the stainless, pure mind as such. Whatever arose through the confusion of hatred and attachment, in the duality of I and other, good and bad, I confess each one by one. May it all be completely purified. The great assemblies of the victorious ones of the 3 times and the noble ones, the unceasing wheel of the 2 accumulations, in all the virtues of sentient beings without exception, I rejoice in them fully with delight. You, protector, fully turn the wheel of undefiled Dharma with the language of ocean-like melodious sound in the worlds of the 10 directions. I beseech you to ripen all sentient beings without exception, all the protectors who abide in all the realms, until the exhaustion of the space-like sphere. Fulfill all of your commitments by abiding permanently without parinirvana. By this virtue, the virtues accumulated in the 3 realms in samsara and nirvana, and by the inherently existing undefiled virtue, may all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed state. By the radiating light of unsurpassed compassion from the palace of body, speech, mind of the victorious one, body, speech, and mind be purified. Thus may it become as your body, speech, and mind. Protector, as you made offerings and pleased the noble Lama, may I also always please you by making offerings and with the clouds of limitless offerings. From now until attaining enlightenment, I follow in your footsteps without wavering so much as the tip of a hair, in confidence in the liberation of your body, speech, and mind. May I perform limitless Bodhisattva's deeds. By being renowned in the three worlds, may all the sufferings of the predicaments be pacified. And all sentient beings be freed completely from all mental and physical suffering, and the victorious great bliss be attained just by hearing my name and remembering me. May I manifest my body as numerous as the number of sentient beings to be trained. May they take refuge joyfully and be established in the unsurpassed state. May I be able to lead all sentient beings to the supreme state of Buddhahood, burdened by heavy ignorance, having lost the path, tormented by the afflicting emotions, and the personage of the Lord of Death. At these times, may they remember me spontaneously and instantly find the supreme path. May I become the inexhaustible sphere of this body, speech, and mind of the victorious ones of the three times, and completely dry the ocean of samsara, thus leading all sentient beings to the unsurpassed state. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Lama and enjoy the glories of the Dharma. By perfecting the paths and bhumis, may I quickly achieve the rank of Vajradhara.
Thank you. So this is a way how to accumulate such a limitless quality of the merit and the wisdom. See, so then next is the actual taking refuge. Those who have taken refuge before reinforce your taking refuge, because the taking refuge is also a cause to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. Means to achieve total peace and happiness. The refuge is the path towards the enlightenment. So, so that you have the visualization that described. You visualize in front of you above, refresh the visualization. And then to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, you take refuge. So here first I read here, so Buddha and Bodhisattva in the 10 directions, please consider, means please look upon me. And out of the great compassion, said, please look upon me out of your compassion. So please accept me to get rid of all my cause of suffering. I rely on you, saying, spiritual master, please look upon me, consider me, look upon me. I am, at that time you say repeat your name, you say your name, then from now until I attain the essence of the enlightenment, means complete enlightenment. I am going for refuge to the Buddha, the supreme among the human beings. Buddha is a human being, but supreme among the human beings, because Buddha has perfected all the excellent qualities and purified all the cause of suffering. I'm going for refuge to the Dharma, the supreme among the attainment, free from desire, free from attachment. So I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma. I take refuge in the Dharma, the perfect method to purify all the obscurations. So it's a desire here means desire is ignorance. When we have ignorance, we have desire, we have attachment. If there's no ignorance, then there's no attachment. Mind is totally free. So to achieve that freedom, I take refuge in the Dharma, which is peaceful and absolute reality. See, peace, total peace. I'm going for refuge to the supreme, I'm going for refuge to the supreme among the assemblies of the Bodhisattvas here since Mahayana. So all the great Bodhisattvas are the Sangha that we take refuge in. The great heroes who have attained the unreturnable state of the realization, means non-returning place. So those great Bodhisattvas who achieved above the eighth bhumi. So that now the visualization you have in front of you, so now you are taking refuge in them. This is the second most important point. So please repeat this in Tibetan. Loben, Dala Gongso Sol,
Dala Gongso So
sorry. Cho Chuna,
Chojuna
Shube,
Shube
Sanjedang,
Sanjeda
Changju Semba,
Chanju Semba
Tamje,
Amje
Dala Gongso Sol,
Dala Gongso So
Loben Dala Gongso Sol,
Lowon Dala Gongso So
Da Ming.
Daming
Please say your names. Dishi Jiwa,
Dishi Hiwa
Dundene Sunem,
Dine Sungde
Jisi Changju,
Chisi Changju
Ningbola,
Ningbola
Chigi Pardo,
Chiji Pardo
Kanyi Namji Cho,
Kangni Namji Chu
Sanje Chomden De,
Sanje Jomden De
Namla Kyapso Cho,
Namla Japsu Chewo
Deja Dang Tewa,
Jadang Tewa
Namji Cho,
Namji Cho
Shiwa,
Shiwa
Dun Damba,
Damba
Nyangele Debe,
Ngele Debe
Chola,
Chola
Kyapso Cho,
Japsu Chewo
Cho Namji Cho,
So Namji Cho
Changju Samba,
Ju Samba
Samba Chambo,
Samba Chimbo
Chirmindobe,
Chirmendo
Pabe Kindula,
Pabe Kindula
Kyapso Cho.
Japsu Chewo
So this first recitation. So as I mentioned, so please hear all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas in the 10 direction means the visualization you have established. To these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, you are asking their wisdom, compassion to receive. And then Master who is performing the ceremony, please hear my request or hear or look upon me. So until I achieve complete enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, who is the supreme among the human beings. I take refuge in the Dharma, which is the perfect method to actualize the Buddhahood. I take refuge in all the Bodhisattvas as a Sangha, as a guide. I take refuge in them. Please give me refuge ordination. So with this mind, please repeat the second recitation. Cho Chunang,
Chojuna
Shube Sanje Dang,
Shube Sanje Dang
Changju Semba Tamje,
Ju Semba Tamje
Dala Gongso Sol,
Dala Gongso So
Lobe Dala Gongso Sol,
Lowon Dala Gongso So
Da Ming.
Daming
Please your name. Dishi Jiwa,
Dudine
Dundene Sunem,
Dudine Sune
Jisi Ningbo,
Chisi Ningbo
Changjubla Chigi Pardo,
Chanjula Chiji Pardo
Kanyi Namji Cho,
Kangni Namji Cho
Sanje Chomden De,
Sanje Jomden De
Namla Kyapso Cho,
Namla Japsu Chewo
Deja Dang Tewa,
Jadang Tewa
Namji Cho,
Namji Cho
Shiwa Damba,
Shiwa Thondamba
Nyangele Debe,
Helen Debe
Chola Kyapso Cho,
Chula Japsu Chewo
Cho Namji Cho,
Cho Namji Cho
Changju Samba,
Chanju Samba
Samba Chambo,
Samba Chimbo
Chirmindobe,
Chirmendobe
Pabe Kindula,
Pabe Kindula
Kyapso Cho.
Japsu Chewo
Now we'll recite the third time. So make sure with the full meditation, says samsara is not the place to stay all the time. I have been in the samsara for a long time, for countless lifetimes. Still, I have not achieved any absolute kind of concrete benefit. my suffering, the vicious cycle of suffering continues day after day, year after year, life after life. So I got enough. Now the samsara. I want to free from the cycle, the vicious cycle of samsara. Not just only myself, but for the benefit of all the sentient beings. So meditate that way. And please repeat the third recitation of the refuge. Cho Chuna Shube,
Chojuna Shube,
Sanje Dam,
Sanje Dam,
Chanju Semba,
Ju Samba,
Tamje Dala Konso Se,
Hamje Dala, Gonsu So,
Lobu Dala Konso Se,
Lobun Dala, Gonsu So,
Amen.
Amin,
Please say your name. Dishi Jiwa,
Dishi Jiva,
Dundene Sune,
Dundene Sune,
Jisi Ningbu Chanjubla,
Chisi Ningu Chanjula,
Chiji Pardo,
Chiji Pardo,
Kanye Namji Cho,
Kangni Namji Cho,
Sanje Chumden,
Sanje Jumden,
Benamla Japsu Cho,
Yenamla, Japsu Chewo,
Dejadang Tawa,
Jadang Tewa,
Namji Cho,
Namji Cho,
Shiwa Tundamba,
Shiva Tundamba,
Nangilian Debe,
Rene Deve,
Chula Japsu Cho,
Chula Japsu Chewo,
Cho Namji Cho,
Sonamji Cho,
Chanju Samba,
Ju Samba,
Samba Chambo,
Samba Chimbo,
Chirmindobe,
Chirmendobe,
Pabe Kindulam,
Pabe Kindula,
Japsu Cho.
Japsu Chewo.
Then next we have tap, Lexo ceremony. This means through this ceremony, you have received refuge ordination. Tap, Lexo means, yes, I have received. So with this meditation, now time. Now the third important point is the meditation called the four immeasurable practices. These four immeasurable practices are the loving kindness, compassion, rejoicing, and equanimity. Now here, say, loving kindness is the fundamental. Generally, usually I mention, everyone has some kind of loving kindness. Even small insects, birds, animals, even those who don't believe in any spiritual things, religions, but they have, like the mother, has loving kindness, compassion. Maybe not immeasurable, but at least to their family. So that kind of loving kindness is there. That gives us the opportunity to survive. Like a mother, if the mother has no any kinds of loving kindness, the offspring cannot survive, because she took care of her offspring. That child grows, survives, So that's the capital, okay? That's the capital that we expand, not just only for ourselves, not just for our family, but to all others. Every sentient beings, as I mentioned, they desire for peace and happiness. Every sentient beings desire to free from suffering. And this is not something like spiritual thing. This is not something culture, but it's the reality, nature that everyone has. See. So take that, the loving kindness that we have. Even like say myself, I don't have expectation from me. So I eat food, now what I can expect for myself. Do you expect anything? I eat a good lunch. Now I am expecting. I say, you don't expect, but you want peace and happiness. So everyone there, everyone desire for peace and happiness. Everyone desire to free from suffering. So because of that, we expand this mind to every sensation base. Just look at this. When you cultivate that mind, you lose nothing. Do you lose anything? You do nothing. Maybe you lose some ego. My ego, which surrounds me, maybe I'm losing my ego. Otherwise, you lose nothing. But you gain such great peace, fearlessness. Just for example, when you go at night, you go around there. There's some ghost, You say, oh, I'm so afraid of ghosts, The spirits are coming on. But as soon as you develop loving kindness, compassion to the ghost, they are also part of sentient beings. They also desire for peace and happiness. They also desire free from suffering. And you have no fear. See, they want peace and happiness as I want. What's the difference? They want to free from suffering. As I want to free from. We are all same. So you lost the fear. See? That's how you achieve the fearlessness. People have so much fear because they will take something out of you. You have fear, they will take advantage of me, all these things. But when you develop this mind, all the fear you have disappears. Then when you realize emptiness, then there's nothing to fear. Everyone is nature of the state, nature of emptiness, nothing to fear. As in the Heart Sutra mentioned, you achieve the fearlessness. So it is in these teachings, practices are how to free from the fear and achieve all the peace and happiness, you see. And this is something that you can achieve within you. Doesn't matter where you are, any place, at your house, at your room, or in the school, in the working place, anywhere you are driving. When you have this mind, loving kindness, may everyone have peace and happiness. So I'll be so happy. When everyone is free from suffering, I'll be so happy. So cultivate that mind, exercise this mind, and it heals the mind. Our own mind, it will heal. It will heal our body, our mind. It's definite, A lot of people are suffering because of this. Our mind, as mentioned, our mind is so confined, trapped in the tangle of the ego, attachment. We're so trapped in our attachment, our aversion, and our ego. So break through that, dismantle this, and make the mind free like the space. Whole universe is pervaded by the space. Also, look at the space as an example and make your mind like the space to free from all this limitation, boundaries. So with this, then we chant this prayer now in English, okay? Here we have, may all mother sentient beings from there repeat 3 times, okay?
What page?
Page 17.
May all mother sentient beings, infinite as space, have happiness and its causes, May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never lack the happiness and is free from suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, infinite as space, have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never lack the happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, infinite as space, have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never lack the happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and aversion.
Okay, thank you. To reinforce this practice, here, as mentioned here, may all mother sentient beings, infinite as a space, have happiness and it causes. The causes of happiness is all like the 10 virtues. The practice loving kindness itself, practice of compassion, practice of bodhicitta, practice of the emptiness. These all are cause for the peace and happiness. So may every sentient beings may practice this. So these are Buddha, as mentioned, Buddha prescribed, okay? Buddha prescribed to practice these things, okay? No. Then, see, may they be free from suffering and its causes. Suffering, as mentioned, there are physical suffering, mental suffering. Mental sufferings are more kind of difficult to get out of this. Physical sufferings, you can take medicines and get better. Mental sufferings, there people give some medication, but very difficult to get out of it. So mental suffering only can heal by these practices. When you practice loving kindness, compassion, then the mental suffering releases. The drugs, as you mentioned, the drugs, those are we use when the mind is so depressed. We use those. As long as it stays there, we just feeling of numbness. Because the mind and the wind are so related to each other. So that's why as soon as the effect is gone, the suffering continues. So to heal the mind, these practices, practice the 10 virtues. Look at the 10 virtues, practice those. Loving kindness, compassion again, and bodhicitta, emptiness. This is the best method to heal the mind. So may all sentient beings may practice these things. So this is not something Buddhist thing, It's a method, it's a cause to free from all the suffering. So reflect on this. So our meditation practice this way, it's not my interest or not interest. If we really want to free from suffering, without this cause, we cannot free from suffering. So it is a cause that universally is designed as a cause to free from suffering. To reflect on this, then we should all rejoice. I'm so fortunate. I got contact to this. I got opportunity. That I must have done something good before to connect to this kind of method. It's not something like a spiritual thing, It's a universal cause to free from all this suffering. You see, the next is mentioned, man, they never lack the happiness that is free from suffering. Means anybody who enjoys their happiness will rejoice. May they not free from, they may not out of this condition. May they enjoy the peace and happiness. Even those people you don't like, those who hate you. So may they enjoy their peace and happiness. That's it. Such an altruistic thought to help others. So next then, may they abide in equanimity, means no attachment to someone, no aversion to someone. Equally, may everybody, my friend, my relatives, my enemies, everybody equally enjoy peace and happiness. Everybody free from all the sufferings. And this way, if we practice this way, definitely will heal our mind, no doubt. It needs some effort. It needs some mindfulness, but we should continue. That's the courage we need. It's the courage based on the wisdom and compassion. See? So compassion is not something spiritual thing. It's everybody's interest. So these are the practice that, so please meditate on this, not just today, but in your whole life. This is the foundation for the Bodhichitta. Without this foundation, you cannot develop Bodhichitta. No? Bodhichitta, on the base on this, then we cultivate the mind to attain complete enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So those two, to achieve complete enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, those two, now that what we desire for, say, on the base on this, for immeasurable practice. Okay? So this morning, now it's 12, after 12. How was that now? It's helpful? Yes. These are just, you should learn these things, not as a religious training, okay? This is a universal requirement. We all need this for peace and happiness, okay? Now, then you will really feel happy. No? It's not just only sitting in the sitting cushion, but when you're walking, when you're with the people, when you're working, going to school, anywhere, you can use these things. And when you go to retreat, you also need this, For all means, you need this. Okay. First we say Bodhisattva 3 mantra, say 3 times. Om Bodhisattva Samaya Mano Palaya Bodhisattva Denova Didandedo Membawa Sudukaya Membawa Subukaya Anorado Membawa Sarvasiti Me Prayata Sarakama Sudame Jatan Shriya Guru Hum Sarvata Danga Dambadrama Memandam Bardembawa Ma Sama Om Bodhisattva Samaya Mano Palaya Bodhisattva Denova Didandedo Membawa Sudukaya Membawa Subukaya Anorado Membawa Sarvasiti Me Prayata Sarakama Sudame Jatan Shriya Guru Dodo Godam Bardrama Memandam Bardembawa Ma Bodhisattva Nombandra Satu Samaya Mano Palaya Natra Satu Denova Detandedo Subukaya Membawa Anorado Membawa Sarvasiti Me Prayata Sudame Jatan Shriya Guru Godam Bardrama Memandam Bardembawa Ma Samaya Satu. Now please say the dedication prayer. No, Lola Shash. Lola Shash. dedication. Yeah. Go direct to the dedication prayer. This will also serve as a long life prayer.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assemblies of Yidam deities and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, in the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravakya or Pratyekya Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, in the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. And in many other places, you have lunch time. Maybe Asia, maybe it's time to maybe go and sleep. And good night. And over here, then see you at 2 p.m.
Okay.